family. I'm so glad to see you guys. By the way, let me just say, how lucky am I?
Yeah.
These gorgeous gentlemen escort me out here.
There's not a person in this room who thinks we're gorgeous, but I will tell you this.
Or gentlemen.
Robbie and I, we're good people, we're nice guys, but really in our heart of hearts, we're just gross, skeevy old men, and we were so fired up to get to grope you as we brought you out here. That is a win for us. It's my favorite entrance we do all weekend.
You guys are so beautiful.
I took something beautiful and made it weird, didn't I? Good for me. Rachel Miner, everybody.
No, seriously, all jokes aside, I've spent a lifetime being trying to disappear and not make a fuss and stuff like that, so this was hard for me to get used to, but I'm realizing I should thank my lucky stars, because every other month I get to hug these amazing, beautiful gentlemen. So thank you guys. And if it wasn't for you, that wouldn't be happening. I love you guys so much. I think this is the most amazing family ever. I'm so glad to see you. Are you having a good weekend? Yeah, you honestly, you make my world, so thank you. I love you guys so, so much. Hello.
So, I went on a way back trip and I was watching music videos I used to watch in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Saw you in the Yellowcard video.
Beautiful.
And I was wondering if you could say anything about what it was like working with them.
They were really nice guys. There was a lot of smoke. We got tired of the smoke machines, I think all of us. But no, they were really nice guys and I had a lot of fun. It's not the same, I don't love them the same as my SBN family, but you know, they were nice enough. No, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't have any other particularly fun stories, but they were really good guys.
Hello. Hi, Rachel. It's really awesome to be here with you there.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
I just wanted to know, what's your favorite part about being a part of the Supernatural family, and is there anything you change about the experiences you've had because of it?
It's very hard to pick a favorite part because it's all the little things. It's all the moments we don't really even notice that, we'll say that we have the kindest group of people ever. I just got helped out on stage by some of them. But yeah, it was the feeling of being on a set where you just feel safe and good and you know you have each other's backs, and there's nothing like that. And it's the same being in this group here and going to the conventions, and you just know you have a bunch of people around who are loving and good and are taking care of you and you want to take care of them. It's hard to put that into circumstances or words because it's a combination, it's an adding up of all of them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sorry if my question...
No, it's a wonderful question. It's a wonderful question. Please don't say that. I'm not good at answering it, but but that doesn't mean it's a bad question. No, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Obviously, it's hard for me to get over, being physically not as capable, and I was very worried about starting to come to these events when things were going wrong, because I thought one of the things I loved is there's so many strong, badass ladies in this group, and on the show, and I wanted to be an example of that, and I was worried that seeing me weaker or something would undermine that. And it was so incredible to have a group of people that told me, no, you're strong just for showing up, for being you, and I think we all need to keep telling each other that. So, yeah.
I hope you have a beautiful day.
Thank you so much. Hey.
Hi. So sorry, I'm super nervous.
No, it's okay. Please don't be.
So if Meg had lived...
Wait, let's take a moment and breathe and take in this wonderful group of people, because that's what stabilizes me. It's just all the amazing, friendly faces out there. I don't want to draw attention, but I'm just saying we should all take that moment to be aware that we're here and it's awesome to be here. And we should never feel nervous or, knocked out by that.
Okay, that actually did help.
Good.
So if Meg had lived longer, do you think her and Cass would have ordered pizza?
Absolutely, you don't even have to think. In my heart of hearts, her and Cass would have lived happily ever after. Made lots of angel demon babies.
My opinion too, so thank you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming. I absolutely love you. I loved your character. I have been waiting forever for you to come to a con. I'm in awe that you're here. So that's the first thing. Secondly,
Wait, let's deal with the first thing first.
Okay.
I'm in awe that you're here too, and thank you for being
Thank you.
here. Thank you for saying that, and it means the world to me. So, yeah. Okay, now on.
Okay. So my question is, so how does it feel being one of the few female characters that was the love interest of one of the boys? Though I consider Cass one of the boys. That was loved and wasn't like ostracized like a lot of the other females that by the female fans. They get a lot of flack if they hook up at all with one of the guys.
I just feel really lucky. I don't know, because there's that part of me from the moment there was like sparks between Cass and Meg. I just, that little girl romantic in me just wanted that,
You wanted to move some furniture.
Yeah, exactly. So it was so amazing the writers actually did that and went there, and it was such a special thing to get to be a part of. So yeah, I just feel really, really darn lucky. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
I was wondering what are your traveling tunes?
What are my traveling tunes?
Yeah, if you had to go on a road trip, what kind of music would you be listening to?
Okay, here's the thing with me and music is I feel like I'm kind of like ADD when it comes to music. Like I get really obsessive and I'll love a certain song or something. I'll just listen to it over and over. And I'll even make a mix for a specific trip. But then I'll cycle away from it for a while and I can't even remember what it was. And then I cycle back and it will always remind me of that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
So I don't think, it's hard for me to name any specifics because you'd have to, I'd have to pull up the mix from that trip and let you know. But in general, I have very eclectic taste in music. I just like good music from anywhere in the world, from any time period. I'm not so hip on anything post-80s, but I'll get there. But yeah, there's a few groups that I really like post 80s, but they're few and far between. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's a great question, and I think it's such a wonderful thing that I think music is so much a part of this family too. That it's one of the things that I love. I love the songs that kind of belong to the show. I love the musicians that travel with this whole group. We've got a great musical family, so I think that we all need that.
Hey, hi. Hey. So you played a very kind of snarky, sarcastic character, which I love.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, you made me laugh all the time. I just want to know what your favorite line was.
I cannot pick a I love them all. I felt so lucky to get to say so many of those lines. I loved all the moments with Cass. I loved the nicknames. I loved, because I grew up on Star Wars and I secretly wanted to be a Jedi my whole life, I did love that you're a little short for a stormtrooper. The fact that I got to say that.
That was one of my favorites too.
Good. But I got a lot of good ones, including one that I was like, I'm allowed to say this? Like the meat suit old Dewey, I was like, oh really? On CW? Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Hello.
It's a great question.
Hi. Love the jacket, first of all. Good taste.
Why, thank you.
Black jackets are awesome. My question for you is, I used to always wonder when Meg is taking care of poor little Clarence, when she's taking care of Cass in the hospital.
By the way, on Good Line, I love that nickname. Clarence is a great
yeah.
name, right?
I was just wondering, like, what I used to wonder, like, what kind of stories, like, would happen, like, when they were both there, like, when we don't see them and everything, like, what Meg would be teaching him, or, like, the things she had to deal with, and they'd be like, let's play a game, and things like, what are some things you kind of just pictured that they would be doing?
I love those moments. I mean, one of the things that makes me laugh with those two is when they try to be somewhere in the proximity of human, and they're so bad at it. That's what I would imagine a lot of those moments would be. I've said before, I've been asked like what my episode would be if I wrote, like if I had my ideal episode for the character, and I'm Cass and Meg on a road trip, like trying to be normal, average Americans, would just be, because they'd be horrible at it. So that's what I imagine, like, you know, she's trying to be all human and nursey, and he's trying to be, you know, patient. Like, they'd be so bad. Like, can you imagine Meg trying to be the caretaker person? Oh, God.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what about you? Do you have any, like, moments you imagine?
Well, things like, I always wonder, like, how did Cass learn how to play the game Sorry? Like, trying to see Meg, like, trying to figure out how to teach him. Like, she's having to look at the instructions and everything, like, rips them up in despair and everything at one point. And just things like that.
You know when you watch couples that have been together for, like, 80 years or something, and they've got this amazing rapport where they just, you know, can rip each other to shreds in the most loving way? Like that's how I imagine they'd be.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I want to thank you for being here because I just love you so much. I myself have an autoimmune disease, and I just wanted to ask if you had any advice about like keeping hope or just keep fighting. So.
I think you can't. One of the things is to kind of be in the moment and not. Like you want to have goals. I'm not saying to let go of your ideals for, you know, your future self, but on the other hand, don't. And it was a hard lesson for me to learn because I'm one of those people who tends to be kind of bullheaded and stubborn and think that I can just control everything, and that is the downfall when you are dealing with an illness, because you don't know. You could wake up and, you know, you're having a day and your legs aren't working, like for me today. You know, it's like, okay. But then how do you be present? How do you see that there's so many wonderful things going on? And not get stuck in the idea of trying to make something exist that doesn't exist. Does that make sense? So I try to look at it like, you know, none of us have wings. It would be awesome to have wings. I would love to wake up and have wings and be able to fly around this room. That would be amazing. But I don't fight the fact that I don't have them right now. So I think that's one of the best things when you're going through that is just not get stuck, not stick yourself in the problem. Does that make sense? And, you know, just kind of go with it. It's like, okay, this is what exists right now. You know, this is what's going on, and that's that. And now I'm on to whatever I want to do with my day, and just factor that new strategic, you know, factor in. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that and just, you know, hold on to everything you love about life and all the people you love, and just keep that motivating you, because you need a lot of motivation to pull you through. So, yeah. Okay. I wish you so much happiness.
Hello.
I feel lopsided right now. This line is just like, yeah, no.
All right.
It's wonderful.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
It's really
It's
nice
good to see you again.
Thank you. It's nice to see you again. My question was it hard to
act with the hellhounds since they're not really there?
Not for me, because having a too vivid imagination has always been a factor in my life. So something not actually being there in physical form makes no difference to me. I can see it. When I was very little, probably like 3 or 4 or something, I saw Wizard of Oz, and I remember I thought that I would see Glinda's bubble, so I would stare at the sun until I saw those little sunspots, and I was absolutely convinced it was Glinda's bubble, you know, not that I was ruining my eyes or burning, you know, my eye sockets. No, so yeah, no, it never bothered me. Does that kind of make sense in a weird kind of insane way?
I get you.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question.
Hello.
Hello.
This side.
This side. I am.
Sorry. So, would Meg be Team Crowley or Team Lucifer for King of Hell, and why?
Well, she Lucifer, right? Because she was loyal to Lucifer, and Crowley killed her.
But
so
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I think she would play Team Lucifer.
Yeah.
But I think really at the end she'd be Crowley.
I think it's quite possible, because I've always thought Crowley and Meg are kind of so much alike. They either have to hate each other or like fall in love. Like, I don't know. There's not like a middle ground.
I think Crowley, it'd be easier for her to keep ahead of him.
Gotcha.
And I think Lucifer,
well, also,
you don't know.
I love both Marks, but I worked with Mark Shepard for longer and more, so I would love getting, and the fact, like, how he can pull off all those lines, I do not know. He has so much of my respect, and he's such a wonderful person that I would love that scenario, personally, as Rachel.
I don't think Meg's dead, so
Yeah, perfect.
so she can come back and let us know her choice.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
I like it. I liked your interpretation.
Oh, thank you.
I think that was very well thought out. Take care.
Hi. How has previous acting roles that you've done, how has that kind of helped you when you were in Supernatural? Like, did you pull from other movies that you've been in, or?
That's a good question. Not consciously, but I'm sure that everything kind of seeps in. You know, it becomes part of your unconscious thinking. So I do know that I tend to play bad guys. I always play like it was like, if it was the murderer, the drug addict, the psychopath, the prostitute or whatever, it's like that was my role. I promise I don't think I'm like that in real life. So she goes along with a lot of the roles I played, but I don't particularly know if any of them factored in. I'd say what actually oddly factored in more than anything is in my personal life, I'm very geeky, so I love to study. I love to study history and religions and so forth, and I feel like that kind of broad scope gave me a certain insight into, I think, who I interpreted Meg to be, which, having that perspective. Does that make sense? So I think I drew on that more than anything.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's funny with acting because you think, like, in my head, the only calculation I'm aware of is like I learn the lines. But I know there's a lot more going into it that, factors in. You just don't realize, you're not conscious of it, so.
Hi. So I understand you're having a bad day. I'm having a good day.
Good, yay.
And I'm happy you're here.
Well, I'm happy to be here, and that makes it a good day.
Awesome. I wanted to know if it's possible, do you think we could have Lucifer bring you back? I'll campaign for it.
I like the idea. I'm open to whatever. I always, one of the things is the writers on the show are so amazing.
They are.
That I just love seeing what they do. As an audience member, I love seeing it. So I've never had the kind of personal stake where I'm like, oh, they have to bring Meg back. I'm more just curious to see what they're gonna come up with next.
Well, nobody ever really dies.
There is that. So yeah, I think whatever they come up with will be brilliant. So,
Thank
but
you.
I like that notion.
So I kind of want to circle back to the favorite quote.
We can circle back.
Yes. You said that you were kind of like, they're going to let me say this. I'm kind of hoping that it's the quote that I personally love that Meg says, which is, later, ho nuggets.
That was a good one.
That was probably my favorite.
Perfect.
One. So I was kind of wondering, what was it that you were surprised that you could say?
The meat suit, the Dewey meat suit was probably the most shocking to me.
That
and when I was being tortured, scantily clad and whatever, it was like, that's on the CW show, that's very strange.
They get away with a lot.
but the meat suit old Dewey, I think was the one that shocked me the most.
That's awesome.
But I like Ho Nuggets.
Yeah, ho nuggets is my favorite. Thank you.
That's a brilliant one. Yeah, I have to use that more in my daily life. So thanks.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
I was wondering if you'd be willing to play Kiss, Marry, Kill, but equal opportunity, male or female, past or present cast members.
Oh gosh, I would not know where to start. I'm really bad at that kind of game.
Yeah.
If you gave me, I don't know. I'm better, maybe I could do it as Meg.
Oh, as Meg. Yeah, you can embody Meg and pick your thing.
Like, as Meg, I think she'd marry Cass.
Yeah.
She'd kiss any of them. And she'd kill Crowley. Because, we need some revenge.
Turnabout fair play. Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Hey.
Hello. I hope I'm kind of coherent, but
You're more coherent than I am, I think.
Oh, I doubt that. I recently watched all of Cold Case. Yes, I am late to the party, and you suddenly popped up as a guest star, and it occurred to me that compared to Supernatural, it's very similar. You're a guest star with a core cast, which is established for years. Can you remember or elaborate
I'm trying to remember
what's different or equal or similar?
Well, first, help spark my memory. On Cold Case, what was the story? Was that the one with Mark Pellegrino?
Oh.
No. He played Lucifer on Supernatural. There was one of them. I think he played my husband, the Russian mafia guy. Was that on
No,
Cold
that was not the.
Okay.
But you were a bride, and you.
Oh, that's Cold Case. You have to forgive me. Little known thing.
I'm fine. I just was surprised that I couldn't remember Mark Pellegrino on Cold
Yeah,
Case.
no, he was not on Cold Case. I don't know. I'm thinking of a different. I did every single crime show, so I get them all confused. Like all the CSIs, and then it was Without a Trace. I think was the name of the one I did with Mark Pellegrino, and Cold Case. I honestly get all the names confused, which, it's hard. Thank goodness I'm not trying to get on any of the shows right now. But yeah, it's a little known thing, which is that you might just occasionally turn on the TV and there I am being some random character for the episode. But Cold Case, it was a lot of fun. There were really nice people. I think Danny, he was one of the cops, right? Yeah. He was really, really nice. He was particularly nice to me. That stuck out. You don't get to, when you're doing like just a single guest spot on a show like that, it's hard. You don't get a lot of time to get to know anyone. At least for me, I didn't. But everyone was super professional and super nice, and I had a good experience. But it's not the same as like on Supernatural. it really is like a family.
Okay.
And yeah, so.
That was the point I was wondering, how different that is.
No, it's a good question, and it's just my own personal experience. But yeah, with Supernatural, there is something unique and special. I think it's what everyone responds to, is that, you know, the camaraderie, and it's interesting because it's in the show, it's written in the show, but it exists within the cast as well. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
I'm a little nervous too, I'm sorry.
That's okay. As I said, I think it's one of my goals is that with these conventions and stuff, I keep feeling like they're so loving and so special, we shouldn't all feel nervous. And it makes sense because one of the problems, what adds to the nerves, is that it's such a unique experience, and you kind of wait for it, and you don't know how you imagine, but you don't know exactly how it's going to be, and then it pops up. And, you know, each time that kind of lends itself to that nervous feeling because you can't predict. It's not like somewhere you go every day and people you see every day. But if I could, that's one of the magic spells I would cast, is that no one would feel nervous. We'd all just like hold each other's hands and hug each other and stuff.
Thank you.
I hope you feel that.
I do feel less nervous. I was just wondering, and speaking of kind of like powers and stuff, if you had demon powers, you personally, like kind of like Meg did, what would you do first? Like, what would you like do?
That's an amazing question. So any kind of powers or just like demon?
Just like demon powers or like any kind of powers.
Well, I'll be honest, like one of the powers that Meg has that I most admire and most want in my life all the time is actually something we can all have, which is just that perspective of, like, one of the things that I love about Meg is she always stayed kind of centered, whatever was going on. Like, it could be the most chaotic, crazy, scary situation where she's getting stabbed to death or something, and it doesn't faze her. Like, she lived long enough that she had the perspective that this is just a blip in time, and it seems overwhelming, it seems to take everything over at this moment, but in the big picture, and that was why I think she was fiercely loyal too, was like, in the big picture, you just have to kind of tether yourself to a cause and not worry about all the little moments. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And to me, that was her most magnificent power, and I try every day to cultivate that. I'm not there yet, but we can work toward it. I think we can all work toward that. So.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I hope that wasn't a particularly fun answer, but I hope that worked. What would yours be?
I think like just the ability to like get out of a meat suit. I would totally do that because like I'm like so awkward, and I think like if I was just in an awkward situation, I could just be like.
That is a brilliant answer. And by the way, also my body is, as you can tell, really obstinate and stubborn. So there's many times I would just like to just pick up another meat suit. That would be really fun. So I'm with you. I think we should work on those.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Hi.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. So, with Meg and Cass, there's always been like a level of attraction with one another, but it wasn't until like the very last episode that Meg actually called him her unicorn.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, do you think that Meg has always felt like that sort of like love toward him, but wasn't able to show it until the end, or?
One of the things I loved about the two of them is it kind of reminded me of a type of relationship to me that I hadn't seen since like the heyday of like the black and white movies where you had like Bogey and Bacall or whatever, where there was a respect for intellect more than a physical attraction. I think the physical attraction was there, but I think more than anything what really excited them, what made it such a like what set off sparks was just kind of a respect for the person's mental prowess, or angel or demon's mental prowess. I think there was something that intrigued, fascinated, and excited each other in that respect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was, at least for me, what I fell in love with about the two of them. And I think that was probably kind of there for Meg from the get-go. She really did respect them. I think that energized her. I think she respected the boys too. I think that was one of the reasons she had such a good rapport and like sense of humor with them, even when she was trying to kill them. You know, there was similarity, and also that loyalty to a cause above self-interest. I think kind of, you know, was throughout, was a current that ran throughout that character's tenure. And I don't know. That's what I kind of like to think. What about you? What do you think?
I don't know.
I like to think it was always there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So, hold on, I always get nervous in front of all of them.
Well, just look at me,
right?
And that's, you know, that's what I do. That's one of my tricks too, is just like focusing on the person I'm talking to,
Right.
and ignore that there's like a whole vast room full of people.
They're all wonderful, but there's lots of them.
That's
So,
well, and it's dark, so you don't see faces all the time.
Right.
That becomes just a mass of energy, and it's kind of unnerving.
it's only when you're lit for the stage.
What was that?
I said it's only when you're lit for the stage. Anyways, I was gonna say that we were talking about meat suits being obstinate and wishing to leave them, and a lot of the fans that I know are disabled in some way, and myself included, and you included. And Supernatural isn't perfect, but they've had a better representation sort of palette than a lot of things. And people keep talking about you coming back. We had Bobby and we had the deaf characters, and nothing's coming to mind because I'm shaking. But I wanted to ask what you think about that, and like the representation of disabled people in general, and like Supernatural and
That's
the
a
entertainment
wonderful.
media.
That's a wonderful question. It's interesting because I don't know. I don't think I had the perspective of how important it is to actually see people that are similar to you represented on screen until I had something going on. Because there's a weird thing where we do kind of take a cue as to what it is to be human and exist in this world off of what we see. And if we don't see examples in front of us, we kind of feel like, I literally felt like I shouldn't exist because I had no frame of reference. And seeing things like, I don't know, I like The West Wing is one thing, and when they had a character have MS, it was like, oh yay! Yeah. Like I recognized myself suddenly. It was really, like, it was a very emotional and moving moment, and I suddenly went, I can exist. Like it is an important thing, and I think a lot of us have felt it, but it's hard to name how important it is until you're going through something and you literally, it's a weird, you know, kind of trick of humanity. But if we don't see ourselves represented, it does make us feel ashamed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't fault people for not knowing how important that is when they're not going through something, because it's just like, you know, a lot of times things aren't set up for, you know, to be accessible or whatever. Yeah. I don't think, oh my gosh, how did no one think of that? Because I know that before I was in that situation, I might not have thought of it myself, because you just don't have that frame of reference. But I think it's important that any of us going through things put that out there for as many people as we can. It's one of the reasons why I keep coming to events and everything, is just because I think it's important to not hide that. To not be ashamed and to go, okay, it's just a different logistical factor in existing, and a lot of us have that going on. Does that?
No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
But yeah. But I will say, I do want to acknowledge that everyone on Supernatural is incredible and has been so helpful, and they've got such big hearts that they're willing to just accept. And that makes all the difference in the world too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for being visible.
No, thank you. It was a wonderful question.
Take one more question. Why not? Let's do it.
Last question.
Okay, so I hope this isn't an awkward question to ask, but...
I'm sure it's going to be very awkward.
I hope so.
I'm super uncomfortable already.
Well, my question, honestly, because Meg is one of my favorite characters, and one of my favorite scenes is like the pizza man scene. So my question was, how was it being able to basically make out with Misha Collins on set?
I always say, I mean, I just said when I'm asked that question, because it's like, what, it was horrible. No, I mean, what is, you guys know it was nice. It was a good scene. It was, I mean, I particularly loved it because, as I said, that romantic in me, I wanted those two characters together, so getting to kind of cosplay that, play that out, that was awesome.
Did you guys get to like laugh about it afterwards, or?
I'm trying to remember, you know, it's so interesting. You get so wrapped up in the technical stuff. And to be honest, also, I love, Misha's very smart, if you haven't realized, and I loved our kind of geeky conversations about books and things. So often, like on our downtime, that was the kind of stuff we talked about because I'm a nerd. And I'm talking to a gorgeous guy and I want to talk about books, you know, but yeah, I mean, we didn't really acknowledge it too much, but I like to joke. I think we kind of almost talk to each other through these stage panels by joking, you know, and talking about how fun it was.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You take care.
I remember Misha talked a lot about that sequence, how you used to come to his trailer a lot and ask to rehearse.
There's that.
And I thought, well, that's good of her. And he goes, no, Rich, it was on episodes we weren't shooting. They had nothing to do with her character.
It's just because I'm very professional.
Apparently, you wanted to be sure you got it right when you shot it. Months before.
And also, you know, you have to know, like, your character's backstory.
Absolutely. And you really apparently took a lot of time getting to know his backstory. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her, Rachel Miner! God, I love Rachel Miner. She's awesome. Was that fun, Seattle? So great. Always great to have her around, doing her thing, making out with Misha. God, she loves to make out with Misha. She really gloats about it too. She's like, oh, it's great.
Lucky Misha.
He's so smart. I'm like, oh.
I wish I was smart. You know?
I made out with Misha. Wasn't that great?
Some guys could be all smart.
They're all smart.
And then there's me and you.
Good looking and make outable. Stupid dumb Misha. Suck it, Misha. When I introduce him tomorrow, I'm going to introduce him because I have to, but I'm going to be like, Misha Collins. You know, I'm going to totally do one of those, Robbie. I'm going to throw so much shade. He's going to be like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah.
You know what?
What?
Snapchat has changed you. I've never seen you so tweeny.
Robbie, I've said this once. I've said it twice. Nay, I've said it thrice. It's Dick Chat. Don't worry, if you forget, I'll remind you next time.
Oh yeah, 5 minutes.
For those of you who aren't following me on our Creation Entertainment on Snapchat or Twitter or wherever the hell it is, I'm Snapchatting a lot today because I took over the Snapchat, and Robbie has just been great and patient and is so into it and just a willing subject. I feel like
eyes twitching.
I feel like it's like we're like ice dancers. I've got the phone and the chat, and you've got the shitty attitude, and it really works well. Really sending things out to the people.
Well, this morning started with me explaining what Snapchat is to you, and I feel like I've created a monster. I can't make it stop.
Well,
I just want to turn it off.
Dick chat. Hashtag dick chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I remember.
So, Robbie.
Yeah. Dick. What's up?
I love Friday people.
I know you do.
And Friday people love cock. I know you think that I'm saying something dirty, but I'm not. I'm talking about Kings of Con. It's a show that you and I made. A program. That woman. Tomorrow we're phoning it in. Today we actually care. And on Sunday you'll forget we ever lived because it'll be all about Jared and Jensen. But the point is, right now...
And you will boo us when we come on stage.
Right. But today, while we matter, let us all remember this. Friday people are the best people. They are our favorite people.
And thank you for skipping your job.
Thank you for skipping your job, for eschewing responsibilities. Krista, stand up. Show them the official Friday merchandise that we have. It's a sexy sort of purple, sort of throwback themed Friday people shirt that Krista's modeling for us. Oh, so fabulously.
Yeah.
And then you stand up there and show off. We also have the I Heart Cock shirts, the Kings of Con official. Don't be afraid to tell Gran that you love cock, because trust me, she already knows. So no.
Pick one up for her. As a little Easter gift.
Yeah, woman wears shirts.
Grandma, I got you something.
I heart cock. Well, that's a fine how do you do.
What are you saying that I like roosters? I told you. See what I did?
That's so clever, Robbie. Save it for Dick Chat. Save those magic turds for Dick Chat. Speaking of magic
this
turds.
is the kind of thing that only Friday gets to experience.
This is it, Friday. Tomorrow we're going to be totally classy and boring.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be a well-oiled machine.
But today we're classless and boring.
And unoiled.
Yeah. It's sad, we've had a month off. We've been able to take this whole act back to the shop and make it worse and bring it back out. I think we're doing a great job so far. You especially, by the way.
Thank you.
You're a mess.
What are we doing next, Richard?
We're going to do a little game. It's a game, Michael.
What?
I know you love games.
I love games.
You are programmed to love games.
Yes, I am.
It's called Stump the Experts.
Oh.
Give me a little Stump the Experts. Yeah. It's stump the expert. Yeah.
Stump the expert. Stump the expert. Stump the expert.
Who's died and made you an expert? What makes you think you're so great? You watch the dumb show all the time. You think you know the answers? You think you're so great? Well, answer the questions right. We'll see. Stump the expert. Stump the expert. I get so tired of your attitude. You act like you know everything about the show. Oh, I've seen every episode several times. I know all about the show. I'm an expert. Really? We'll prove it. And stump the expert.
Stump the expert. Stump.
Let's bring out our resident expert, Mr. Adam Malan. Woo! Adam
The expert.
Malan.
Stump the expert. Stump the expert.
That's fine.